Hi, this is our talk. I'm Jujhar Singh. Pandit Shiv Kumar Sharma is quite simply a genius musician. He's considered one of the absolutely greatest musicians in the world. He brought an unknown instrument used in Sufiana Mosiki and put it on the forefront of Indian classical music. Shivji, it's so nice to have you on the show.
So happy to be here.
First of all, let's talk about your instrument. How many strings are there on it?
There used to be 100 strings. Originally in India, it was called Shata Tantri Veena. That's a Sanskrit word. Shata means 100 in Sanskrit. So because of that, it was called Shata Tantri Veena. It had 100 strings.
Meaning a 100-string veena.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know, these type of instruments are mentioned in Raga Veda also. They are very ancient instruments. And after centuries after that, it got its present name, Santoor.
Your parents are musicians. You were playing the tabla, you were doing singing until the age of 13. How did the big switch happen to the Santoor after that?
My father, Pandit Sharma ji, he started teaching me vocal and tabla at the age of 5. I think I must have been about 12, 13 years old when he gave me this instrument. And he was the first...
What did he say to you when he gave you the instrument? Learn it?
Yeah, of course, because he...
And switch over from the tabla to the santoor.
Right, because he was the first musician who thought about it. Why not bring this instrument to the Indian classical stage?
So he actually gave you the responsibility of putting it on the classical stage.
Right, and he taught me.
But you know, Shivji, you learned how to play the santoor, and then of course you did your first major public concert in Mumbai in 1955. But I believe that the orthodox critics at the time, they were very critical of the santoor because they said it's not fit to be a classical instrument. What were the problems with the santoor at the time?
This is a staccato instrument. It plays cut notes. And in Indian instrument or in Indian classical music, whichever instrument we are playing, we are trying to imitate the vocal style of singing through the instrument and with their techniques. Secondly, although there were 100 strings, but it wasn't possible to play all kinds of rags on this instrument, the way it was tuned.
You then spent the next 12 years in experimenting and modifying the santoor. What changes did you make to it?
Most important thing, what people were critical about this instrument was that it's a staccato instrument, like this. Now, so how to produce that? This is not like that.
Now it's sounding like it.
Yeah. Kaun gale gaye sham. Suppose I have to play this. So I tried out different techniques. This is very, very important what I'm going to say now. That there were other instruments. I used to experiment at home, different techniques to produce this effect. And first I tried to imitate doing something here, like this. So then I thought, if...
You mean with your fingers, like a guitarist might
do.
Yeah.
So I thought when there is an instrument like sarod, like veena, like sitar, if I imitate that instrument's technique, then the original is there, why should they listen to me? I should create a technique which is technique of santoor, expressing the same thing. So that took me 10, 12 years.
So now you've made the santoor sound like the human voice. It can do what the human voice
in santoor technique.
In santoor
and not
technique.
Imitation of other instruments. So I had to try and discover something different. So now this is possible.
You also changed the range of the santoor.
Right, because normally in our music, in classical music, whether it is vocalist or instrumental music, we use 2.5 or 3 octaves. 7 notes make 1 octave.
Right.
Now, for example, this is 1 octave.
1 octave.
This is lower octave.
Yeah.
Then middle octave.
All right, so we have 2
Second
octaves
octave.
now.
And third octave,
3 octaves.
3 octaves.
Okay.
So in Kashmiri Santoor, there were only 2 octaves and 3 more notes.
So you actually added a full octave more to the instrument.
Almost. So then
12
many other
years of
things.
experiments, and you brought the santoor, which the critics were criticizing in 1955, and you put it in the front line as a solo classical instrument.
Actually, when I sit back and think about it, I haven't done anything. I was made a medium. It had to be done through me, but somebody else was doing it. I don't claim anything.
Let's hear something on this santoor. Now, what would you like to play?
Let me play some alap and jod. Let me play Rag JHINJHOTI.
Okay. Beautiful. Shivji, let's take a break now. When we come back, we'll talk about a very formidable combination. You and Pandit Hari Prasad Chaurasia. You've also scored film music together, including for Silsila and Chandni. We'll talk about that. Also, your close association with Sri Sathya Sai Baba. We'll be right back. Keep watching our talk.